I have set my circular saw on the depth just to go below the laminate of the floor, because I really don't know what's happening underneath. I don't know if there are any pipes or cables or anything running under the floor, which shouldn't, but you never know. You really never know. So always be careful when you're doing any floor repairs, because you don't know what's underneath. Because the new board I'm going to use to install there, it's slightly narrower. It's about 10 millimeters narrower than the old boards. I'm going to retain that 10-15 mil all the way along the old board. I'll retain that in place and then use the new board to actually run into it, because I think it's the old boards are 200 millimeters and the new one is 188, so it's like 12 millimeters narrower. Most of this section of the floor, it's actually underneath the rug, so customer is not worried too much about appearance of it, as long as it's not drastically bad. It's mainly just to make it level, so it's not a trip hazard when someone walks over the rug. I will still try to make it nice. The only thing is the old boards are very aged and worn in, and it's going to be really hard to make that exact finish on the boards. But we'll see. I think I can make it look half decent. So you can see I'm using various tools just to clean up that area. It is engineered board, so it's solid oak top or face, laminated or glued to plywood base. Now that plywood base is still down on the floor, and I could see some nails as well, so it's nailed floor. Now I do understand that this floor here has some kind of underfloor heating installed, which could be that it's been battened out and then underfloor heating pipes run between the buttons and then flooring nailed over the buttons. That's one of the reasons why you shouldn't really just plunge a saw into it and cut it deep. Now this is the section of the old flooring I just had there in my hand, and I'm going to offer it against a new piece of flooring. You'll see the thickness there, and the thickness of the oak laminate on it, or to call it laminate, or oak surface, oak face, it's pretty much the same. It's about 5 millimeters thick. So now with a planer, planing back the plywood side of the new board to get to adequate thickness. And it took lots of planing. I had to change a battery once on a planer, and now using a sandpaper on the disc cutter, on a 4.5 inch disc cutter, to remove lacquer of the new board, and then a wire brush on the disc cutter as well to distress the oak surface to actually enhance the grain, because it was very smoothly sanded board that I managed to get. And the old boards are very rustic with enhanced grain, and you can see the running a wire brush over the oak actually removes the softer sections and leaves the harder sections up, and it's actually enhancing the grain of the wood. You can see there nice and clear. Once that is done, I'm just using random orbital sander with about 120 grade sandpaper and just smoothing up the surface so it doesn't feel rough. And now we're coming to installation process. Just using some plastic packers on the edges, on the places, to gain exact height, finishing height for the new inlay, and light spray with the water just to wet the surfaces. And then I'm using polyurethane adhesive, wood adhesive, Always like to use polyurethane on these jobs because it's really fast setting. Takes about 5-10 minutes to set, and it expands and fills in all the cracks and gaps. I had to put some toolboxes on to just weigh down, and now it's cleaning time and just cleaning off all the surface. Another bit of sanding, getting all the edges clean with a chisel where the adhesive came out. And this is how the board looks now, unfinished, all prepped up and set in. Now it's going to be a quick clean up and then applying various stains. I have used various stains with some drying time in between and a bit of sanding in between and some other stains. It's just trying to play with materials you have to try to get nearest match, and very often helps just to leave it a few hours or overnight to dry, and then you get better view on what is going to look like. Good thing is that's a big section, and half of the small section will stay under the rug, and also it will need a bit of time to wear in. And yeah, I mean, it's exactly what customer asked for. It's very hard to match boards exactly because existing boards have been down with that finish a long time and they've been well aged. It's very hard to get new wood to age as naturally aged wood. But you'll see the finished product on the last clip. I'm pretty pleased with it. Just needs a bit of time to wear in. I hope, guys, you have enjoyed this video, and if you got any questions or comments, please don't mind asking. I'm always happy to answer on all questions. And yeah, keep working, be happy, and all the best, guys. See you in the next clip.